Good morning, it's 6 a.m. and I'm about to make a nutritious breakfast. I know that when it comes to Japanese breakfast, it can feel overwhelming with so many options, but don't worry, I'll share some easy tips to simplify the process. First, let's start by cooking the rice. I soaked the rice last night and kept it in the fridge. The ideal soaking time is about an hour, but I prefer to do it overnight instead of waking up an hour earlier just for this. Once it's soaked, drain it well, bring it to a boil, then reduce the heat and let it simmer for 10 minutes. After that, turn off the heat and let it sit for another 15 minutes to finish cooking. On mornings when I oversleep, I simply warm it up some frozen rice I always keep on hand. I cook extra rice every time and freeze any leftovers, which makes meal prep a breeze. While the rice is cooking, let's move on to the miso soup. I like to start with the dishes that takes the longest to prepare. For my family, soup is our source of nourishment. It can be challenging to prepare a variety of dishes on busy morning, especially when the kids are little and take their time eating. In those moments, soup is a lifesaver. I throw in leftover vegetable, tofu, proteins like fish and meat, and seaweed like wakame seaweed. Plus, since water-soluble vitamins are absorbed into the soup, it's a great way to get those nutrients. Personally, just the rice and then hearty bowl of miso soup. Just the rice and the hearty bowl of miso soup is good enough. It's just a wonderful breakfast itself. But those who want to dive deeper into Japanese breakfast, I introduced you 3 more recipes. So let's do that. I prepared 2 of the dishes yesterday, so today I'll just plate them. You can find all the recipes on my website. Over the past 4 years, I've taken more than 100,000 photos, yet I have never properly learned how to make the great pictures until recently. I always wanted to learn, but I didn't know where to start. However, I finally took a photography course on Craftsy. Craftsy offers over 2,000 inspiring classes for makers of all skill levels with step-by-step instructions in more than 20 categories like knitting, cooking, sewing, painting, and so many more. What I love about this is that classes are taught by experienced, award-winning instructors who share their professional techniques that will take our skill to the next level. And it was concise, structured, friendly, and easy to follow. To be honest, I used to think I could learn everything for free in today's world. But a self-study can be really hit or miss and quite a long way around learning. If you have some free time during the holiday season, I highly recommend to check it out. Craftsy has kindly provided an exclusive offer. The first 1,000 people to click the link in the description can get a full year of premium membership for just $1.49, a huge discount from the regular price of $123. I'm planning to take that immunity workshop. Thank you, Craftsy, for sponsoring this video. So now let me introduce what I prepared yesterday. The first dish is age bitashi, which is a fried eggplant and bell peppers in dashi soy sauce. In Japan, eggplant is a seasonal ingredient right now. I always try to cook with the seasonal ingredients because they are nutritious and affordable. What are the seasonal ingredients in your area? Let me know in the comment section. If you have time, I also chop up ingredients for the miso soup in advance.
Just by cutting them small and storing them in a container, I save time the next day. This habit of preparing things in advance has made cooking a lot easier for me over time.
If you hold your eggplant with the chopstick and it's kind of squishy like this, and off the heat and then transfer to the container.
Thanks to this routine, even I, who can be quite lazy, am able to cook every day without too much effort.
Usually for this, I sprinkle some bonito flakes to boost even more umami flavor as a finishing touch. But it's out of stock, so I'll keep this into the fridge.
The second dish is pickled turnips. You can use any vegetable for pickling, not just turnips. Daikon radish, carrots, and cucumbers are also delicious.
For this turnip recipe, I only use this white part, but I will keep this leaf part for the miso soup tomorrow, or I can add it to the salad as well.
My kids have always been picky about sour foods, but as they grow older, they are slowly starting to enjoy them. I feel a sense of growth when we can share the same foods.
As the time passes, the moisture from the turnip will start to seep out. So there will be more moisture, the liquid, into this container. So I'm gonna mix it after maybe 6 hours later.
My youngest is still quite picky, so it's a long way to go ahead, but I'll keep introducing new ingredients at a comfortable pace. Lastly, we have hiyayakko, which is a tofu salad. This one is super easy. Just place some silky or firm tofu on a plate, add your favorite toppings, and drizzle with soy sauce. The classics are bonito flakes, ginger, and green onions. But for today, I topped some kimchi. I like to drizzle some flaxseed oil since I'm trying to actively incorporate omega-3 fatty acid into my diet. I take the time to arrange everything nicely, put my phone away, and enjoy my meal. While we might not be able to do this every day, I encourage you to try it at least once a week. It feels almost meditative. This is why I wake up an hour early for this.
So what do you think? Did you find any recipe that you want to give it a shot? If so, then let me know in the comment section. And also don't forget to check on the Craftsy. I'm so excited whenever I gain some skills and experiences. I love the sense of feeling of, well, I don't know, like I accomplished something or I'm evolving, which is similar to what my kids are having every day, and that's something that we tend to forget as an adult, right? So that's why I wanted to share this amazing online platform with you. So let's evolve and let's educate ourselves to inspire each other. Thanks a lot for watching and see you on the next one. Bye bye. またね.